everybody, I'm Alesha, and if this is the first time you're here, welcome. I want to address 3 topics that I was thrown. How can I help? How can I be an ally? And why did I drop Alpha-Phi Omega? That's technically 4, but I accidentally put 3. I'm just going to get right into it in the interest of keeping this video under an hour. And one of the reasons why I joined Alpha-Phi Omega is because I just wanted a place to call home. I wanted brothers and sisters because I never had siblings growing up. And a lot of organizations on campus at the time kept rejecting me. And I'm one of those people to keep trying despite. And to answer the black ally, the ally question, I just feel like some of you are just posting Black Lives Matter posts just to be posting them and you really don't mean it. There's been a number of you where I've ran into you out in public when you're with your white friends or when you're with a certain group of friends. You act like you don't know who I am. How fake and phony is that? How can you sit here and talk about my Black Lives Matters and you post that all over our feeds when you really don't mean it in real life? You're still out here stereotyping. You're still out here racially profiling, and you're still out here being mean to people who are different than you. Who's different than you? I'm pretty sure that didn't come out right, but hey, I'm drinking liquor, so some things might not come out right. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be cruel, and I don't hate anybody. I'm just speaking honestly right now because I can see right through the post, and it's not just a post, and it's not just quotes that's going to make long-term change. You know, I can sit here and post all day, but you got to go out there and make the change. You know, go through the training, go do some soul searching and see what can I do to solve this problem. And racism is a huge problem. And so I just think some of you are posting Black Lives Matter posts. Yeah, I'm an ally. But then you're out here being the same way, stereotyping people, being mean to people, and it's just not cool. Oh, there might be some noise in the background. I'm trying to keep the noise at a minimum. One of the reasons why I joined, I already talked about that, but another reason why I joined was I just wanted a place to call home. One of the first things I noticed, the air conditioning, hello. One of the first things I noticed is that there was a click problem. And if I have to redo this video, I probably will, but I'm just going to go with it. There's going to be noise in the background, I'm just going to deal with it. But one of the things I noticed, there was a click problem. And if you're watching this and all your friends are white, I'm not mad at you. I'm not judging you, but I am going to ask you to be more inclusive, because when I joined Alpha-Phi Omega, there was a lot of friend groups that was already established, and they were not going to let nobody else in because you got your people you already trust, your clique, your group. And again, I'm not faulting anybody who you're close with, because, hey boo boo, Speedy, that's my doggy. I'm not going to get angry at you for growing close to certain people because that's your people, but I'm just going to ask you to be more inclusive in your day-to-day life. And I'm just going to say too, if you come across this video and you're not in Alpha-Phi Omega and you find that you're not in the majority, so for instance, if you're watching this and you're conservative and there's all liberals and progressives in your spot, or if you find that you're the only conservative person in your workplace, or you're an older person and you find that you are surrounded by a bunch of youngins. If you are in the minority, in other words, you're not in the majority, you find that you're the only one. You're the only black person in the sea of all white people. You're the only Latino person in the sea of all white people. In any other group, and you find yourself in the sea full of white people, you might be able to relate to this, you might not, because I'm making this video to address those 3 things. But maybe you had a situation you can relate to what I'm saying. You may be able to relate to this, you may not. Welcome. I'm happy you're here. There's some white people who might come across this that genuinely your heart's in the right place, and I appreciate you, and you just want to watch a video because you're curious. Welcome. This might sound like I'm attacking you, but I'm not. I don't hate anyone. I'm just using this to educate at this point because it's a part of my story, and I just want to share it because I've had some people ask me, and instead of inboxing 10 people the same thing, I just want to make a video, one article, and whatever I don't get to in the video, I will either make a part 2 or make the article longer. I hear more noise, but anywho. Okay, so when I started being a co-chair, that's when I noticed people started talking about me behind my back. And I can't solve a problem if I don't know about it. And being a black person, being a Latino person, being an Asian person in an organization, have you ever heard the rule that you have to be 2 times as good or 10 times as good to be seen as exceptional? Or sometimes you're in the workplace and you find that all the little white folks are, gossiping about you in the corner, trying to find a way to sabotage you, trying to kick you out of the job. I'm sorry if you had to go through something like that, but you understand what I'm talking about when I say you got to be 10 times as good, or in some instances 2 times as good. I've heard it both ways, to be seen as exceptional. And one of the things I noticed in Alpha Phi Omega, not nobody, there are some people who come to me, but most people went behind my back. And I'm the type of person, if I have a problem with you, I'm going to go to you directly. I'm not going to go behind your back. No problems are not going to be solved if people keep saying he said, she said. And I noticed this, I'm like, okay. And I'm just going to point out a couple things that will point to some of the white privileges I've seen in my chapter. And you have to understand, I'm not a race card person. I'm not a woe is me person. But after bringing this up with a couple of other chapters across the country, they said, bitch, read the writing on the wall. And oh, by the way, I do curse in this. So for any kids watching, sorry. Any parents who are watching this, I do curse. So I'm just keeping it real. I'm going to curse a lot. They just said, bitch, look at the writing on the wall. You're a black female in a mostly white chapter. Get real. You might see them as human beings, but they probably will see you under the surface as a second-class citizen. It is not everybody doing it, but it's just a number of them. They're going to show themselves. And I'm just going to throw out a few examples of how they showed themselves. When I ran for pledge trainer, one of the biggest things I learned was nobody cares about your problems. They want what they want. And you need to just provide what they want or what you said you're going to do. And I had to admit, I wasn't going to do everything because some of my ideas weren't that great after, doing a little bit more investigating in them. And I was like, this is not a good idea. But no one ever came to ask me, how come you didn't do this or how come you didn't do that? But I couldn't afford Rush t-shirts or Rush tanks. And I ran out of money, told them this, like, yo, I can't do it. It was my mistake. And I just had a bunch of other things going on at my time as pledge trainer. Some friends passed away from suicide. My school, in the School of Technology, was racially profiling me. It was just a bunch of things. And I didn't want to come into the office with all that drama because at the end of the day, nobody cares about your problems. They just want a big rush class. They don't care about you not being able to afford something. They don't care about your scholarship being taken because some teacher was giving you a hard time in a class in your major. They just want their numbers. They want their members. They don't care about you. Even in business, like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell a client about all my personal problems. They want their problems solved, and if you can't solve them, we're gonna take it somewhere else. So I just used to notice when I made a mistake, people came down on me 10 times harder. And when one of my white male friends made mistakes, people kind of just, that's all right. Don't worry about it. It's okay. He's having a bad day. And I was just like, okay. Trying to be the team person that I am, I didn't really want to say anything. I just figure, hey, just kids being kids. But then I just used to notice my white male counterpart, Jamie. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus. This is just a lesson. And they used to listen to him more. When I say an idea, sometimes people shot it down. But then when one of my white male friends said an idea, people got behind it, and people actually signed up for the project. And sometimes I would teach one of my white male things just to see if it would get a different response. And sure enough, it got a different response. And at some point in time as a black person, you just have to say, okay, if you say something, then they're gonna call you a race card, petty person. You should just try harder. You know, that's not it. It's not your skin color. But then deep down, you know it is. And you know what I'm talking about if you had it happen to you, know, having people gang up on you in the workplace, trying to kick you out, trying to get you fired, trying to put more work on you. Same thing here. Like, I just remember when I tried to say something, I just noticed people were on their phones talking, looking down. But then when my white male counterpart Jamie says something, everybody listened. You could hear a pin drop. And I never held nothing against nobody. Again, this is just education. And I remember I had to miss my pledge project. I forget what reason it was. But then my old master got mad. She was like, oh my God, how can you can't come? When Jamie said he had to miss, nobody said nothing. And I think maybe too, I just had an emergency reason. I just had to drop at the last minute. But the point of the matter is, as a black person, as a Latino person, as an Asian person, as a Native American person, or anybody in the minority who's watching this, you understand what I'm saying? When you make a mistake, you know, everybody's throwing a gauntlet at you. But then when one of your white male friends make mistakes, people cover. So if I was the old master in this situation, I just would say, hey, our pledge trainers can't come. We're just going to make the best of the situation. And one of the other things I noticed one time, somebody forgot to copy the waivers. And again, that's one of my white male friends. And one of the other A-Phi-O members in the office was like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll make a copy of it for you. But then when I made a mistake, when I forgot to do something on the project, when I was just making an honest mistake, the gauntlet was thrown. Like, and then you realize, as a black person, when you make a mistake, people are going to come down harder on you. And if you say something, oh, you're just being petty. You're just using the race card. So you can't win. On one hand, I was trying to be a team player. Hey, baby. On one hand, I was trying to be a team player. But on the other hand, you just realize what's going on. And I definitely noticed more white privilege going on, especially when I ran for president. And honestly, at first I said, whatever this president thing is not for me. They voted for who they want to vote for. But then again, when I brought this up with other members across the country, they said, again, look at the writing on the wall. You're a black female in an all-white chapter. Bitch, wake up. And when I ran, I remember looking out in the crowd. Everybody was on their phones. Well, not everybody, but a number of people were on their phones. They were opening up their books. You could tell they didn't want to be there. And you could tell that Emily made them want to vote for Jamie or an influencer in your chapter. In fact, let me take 10 steps back. How many of you have somebody in your chapter that people listen to in your workplace that everybody likes? There's that one person that, you know, everybody goes to because they know what they're talking about. This person was Emily. And I'm not trying to throw you on the bus, Emily. I'm just trying to teach you a lesson. Hang tight. Same thing with Colleen. Same thing with some of the other trailblazers. You could pretty much tell that she wanted Jamie and Aaron to be president because it definitely wasn't me. And that's okay. You can vote for who you want to vote for. I'm not mad. But one of the things that's good and bad about having an influencer like that, people start to automatically side with this person, you know. I'm just going to listen to what my friend wants me to do. I'm going to listen to what so-and-so wants me to do. I'm going to listen to what yada, yada, yada wants me to do. Instead of voting or thinking with your mind or heart. So by the time I got into that room to say my speech, I can tell that, you know, I wasn't going to win the war because people have already made up their mind. They weren't going to vote for me. And that's okay. Like, those are my brothers. You have a right to vote for who you want to vote for. But at the same time, they didn't give me a chance. So if you want to be the ally that you say that you want to be, I'm just going to ask you to vote for a black person to be leader in your organizations. Vote for that Latino to be the CEO of your companies. Let that Asian take the lead role in your films. Let people of color take the lead. And I'm also going to ask you to give them the same benefit of the doubt that you would if it was one of your white male friends in that same position. So for instance, if somebody forgets the field trip waiver and because they were having a bad day, cover for her. And if it happens to be a black female leader, cover for her. Be her pep talk. Be the person that she can confide in. But damn it, don't use information against her and then go all across the chapter trying to gang up on her. Because I've seen it happen so many times in several organizations. You know, you put people of color in leadership roles, but then people sabotage them and try to do things to set them up to fail. And again, if you're a black person and you're in an organization of all white people and you've had it happen to you, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a Latino person and been in the organization where you're the only one in the sea of white, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to ask you, if you're watching this, give the people of color a chance to lead. Do not throw the gauntlet at them when they make mistakes. And please, 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 cover for them the same way you would cover for your white male friends. Because I will tell you, there's been a number of times where when I made a mistake, but then when the white male makes a mistake, oh, that's all right. You know, he's just having a bad day. And I've seen that happen so many times that it's crazy. And I can sit here and keep talking for a couple of hours about that, but I won't. And here's another example of white privilege. In high school, I remember my English teacher, you know, she was going to make sure that I didn't get no more than a C in her class. No more than a C in her class. Because she had an idea of how black students were. You got to understand, English is one of my favorite subjects. I've wrote for Huffington Post. I write for Medium. I read at college level in 6th grade. So English has always been my strongest. And I hope that came out right. Keep in mind it's a liquor. Let me repeat that just in case. I was reading at the college level at 6th grade. So English was always my strongest subject. But in her mind, black students, you know, you're not supposed to be in a private Catholic school. You're not supposed to be here because I have this idea of how black students are, preconceived notions and stereotypes. In the grade school I came from wasn't the greatest. There was just a lot of things going on, and the reputation was pretty much real. Unfortunately, in society, black schools aren't associated with black excellence, and unfortunately, that school that I went to fell into that stereotype. And she wasn't going to give me the benefit of the doubt the same way she gave some of her white friends the benefit of the doubt and some of her white students. So she gave me the hard time, you know, put the big old red X in my papers. You know, you're not going to get no more than a C out here. When she met with my parent, she met with my parent in the teacher conference room with another counselor because she thought that my mother was an angry black woman and was going to attack her. But when she realized how nice my mother was, she said, hey, I want to go around and ask people about Alesha. When she went around to my other teachers and realized how much of a good student I was, she was like, this is not the typical black person that you hear about. And if you're a teacher watching this, again, if you want to be an ally, like your posts say, I'm just going to ask, give people benefit of the doubt, treat all your students like human beings, get to know them as individuals. And look, if I run into her today, I would buy her a drink. No harm. Like, you know, but I'm just going to say she didn't give me the benefit of the doubt. She had some preconceived notion of how she thought I was. You know, they have an idea, you know, put black people in this box, you know, stereotype them all and they're all the same way. Because, see, I'm going to explain more of this later, but they like to put the worst examples and then say all black people are like that, but then put the best examples of white people and say they're the best. Judge people individually. That's the only thing I'm going to ask. And yeah, I could keep going. There's probably more things I need to elaborate on, but again, whatever I miss, I am going to write it out because I don't want to make this a 3-hour video. And yes, I've heard A-P-O people say the dreaded N-word, and I tell them, do not use the N-word. I don't care how close and how comfortable you are with me. Don't use the N-word. Just don't do it because it's just not right for you to do. I don't use the N-word. I don't use the C-word. And you know what I'm talking about. It's not club. So do not use the N-word. Just don't. And this is a part of the video that's kind of current. One of the reasons why I decided to not be involved in A-P-O as an alum. I've had a lot of mean run-ins with a lot of people from my own chapter, and I'm just like, okay. One time I tried to be nice and extend an olive branch and say, hey, congratulations on you getting married. She told me where she worked. I remembered. And I just wanted to be nice. I wasn't trying to get invited to no weddings. And then I ran into her a couple days, I think it was a week or a couple days later. And you could tell she didn't want me bothered, and that's okay. But I bring this up because I think she thinks I was following her, and I'm like, no. I was just trying to be nice because Ellen DeGeneres always says, be kind to one another. And I was just trying to be kind. And I don't know why some people think, oh, this black person is following me around or trying to stalk me. No. I was just trying to be nice because there's been a number of times where I've ran into people at different events, and we were happy to see each other. Nobody was following each other around. We just had the same interests. We gotta make some more noise in the background. Same interests and same desires and same. We all like tequila. I would never think that somebody is following me around or somebody is too good to join in this with me. And I'm just gonna say, the reason why I knew about your event is because I've made donations, and I'm not going to bring this up again. I was in Dance Marathon for years, and I was made aware of Friends of Riley. I was made aware of all these different charity fundraisers associated with Riley Hospital for Children in the midst of it. To think that I'm trying to follow you around ain't cool. I would never, like, follow you around like that. You're not that important to me, and I would never be that highfalutin to think, oh, this person's following me around this bar, because if I RSVP on something on Facebook and one of my friends happens to see it, you're welcome to come. It's a public event. It's not my right to tell you that you can't come or, whoa, you're following me. You know what I'm saying? It's just not okay. And if you're watching this, I wish you well. I was just trying to be nice. And the fact that you give me weird, dirty looks, I'm like, what? I was just trying to be nice. Like, I've done it on multiple occasions. Like, when I was filming a project in New York, sent one of my friends some donuts and said, hey, it was nice meeting you. Hope we get to work on set again. And she said, Alesha, that's one of the nicest things that somebody has done for me. And I just had to explain, are you okay with me sending flowers for congratulations? Because I had a lady that I tried to be nice to, tried to reconnect with, and she took it the wrong way. And she said, why are people treating you mean for being nice? I don't know. But to cover my ass, I'm asking permission. And again, a lot of people are like, why are you asking me to be nice to me? And I just have to explain again. There's this lady that I knew. She took it the wrong way. She thought I was trying to follow her. She told me where she worked, and I was just trying to be nice. So when you have a wedding, would you be okay with me sending you a congratulations? She said, absolutely. Don't even tell me when you do it. I just want to be surprised. And So I will cover myself, but understand I'm not trying to follow you around. And if I see any of my friends out in public spaces, I'm just going to be nice. And I'm running out of time, but I decided to not be involved in Alpha Phi Omega as alumni because people have just been mean. And I thought about making Alpha Phi Omega one of my lifelong organizations where I give a lot of money to. But since so many people are being mean, so many people act like my black life don't matter, which I can tell doesn't matter to them, I decided to no longer donate money, find some other organizations to give to, and put my heart other places. So my time is about to run out. And I know I missed a lot, so I'm just going to write it in the article. But I wish everybody well. And if you want to talk to me, I'm here. If you don't want to talk to me, that's okay. And I'll talk to you later. Cheers. Be well, be nice, be the allies that you say you are. Later. Hey everyone, it's Alesha. Just in case this is the first time visiting this channel, welcome. Okay, so I decided to make a part 2 because I just want to go over a few more points. And after the video ended, I was like, there's a few more things I want to add. Hopefully I get it in. This time around, if not, just read the article because I'm not going to keep making part 3s and part 4s. Like, at some point, it is what it is. In the last video, I was finishing up the point where I try to do nice things for Alpha Phi Omega people. Well, some Alpha Phi Omega people. And they either treat me mean, block me off, or run from me when they see me. Like, even when I got a few people graduation gifts, some people are like, oh, this is too much money. And I want you guys to think of it this way. Did any of your white friends buy you flowers and you treated them the same way? Did you treat them mean or were you nice? Did any of your white friends give you a gift and you treated them mean or did you treat them nice? Did someone in your past tell you that black people can't afford this or somehow black people aren't supposed to be in this sort of event because it's too much money or whatever? And the reason why I bring this up, I'll get to how you can be an ally. And the reason why I bring this up, one of my white friends told me something very profound a while back. She basically told me that as a white person, you're told that you're superior, you're told that you're better, you're told that you are genetically better in every way. It's up to everybody to get to know you. And you just have to reject this idea and realize that you're not better than everybody else. You're equal. And I just wonder if someone in your past told you that, oh, I'm superior and these people are beneath you. And I'm just going to ask you, if you really want to be an ally, like you say you are, stop thinking that you're the only ones that can afford things. Stop thinking that you're the only ones that can go places, do things, afford $1,000 dinner party tickets or whatever. Because I do think with some of my A-Phi-O brothers, and you can comment below if you had the same experience. After school is definitely a 370, 380 difference. I started going to New York for auditions, Miami, all kind of places. And I noticed as I started to move up, some of my own A-Phi-O brothers started distancing themselves from me. And you just have to wonder, is it because that you go on different paths? They're not really happy for your successes. Like they always want to say they are. Like they wish you well. But then when you start to do well, they start hating on you, start being jealous of you. And here's the sad thing. I watched you in school do things that I wish I could have done. Like, I was still supporting you. I was still happy for you. Like, for instance, they rejected me out of a lot of organizations. Like, you got into BGR. I didn't. I was happy for you. I was not jealous of you at all. I wished you well. You got to study abroad, and hey, they turned me down. I was always happy for your successes, but you can't root for mine. And I just have to wonder, like, why is it that you just can't be happy for somebody? Just clap for somebody. When somebody does well, it's not going to make you any less of a person to clap for their successes or be happy for them. So I sometimes wonder, why do some of you feel so small when you see other people do big things? You know what I mean? Because trust me, I could have easily have been one of these girls that try to be a cutthroat, and I didn't get in the sorority of my choice. But instead of being that way, I just decided to help other girls get in the house. You know, I've had plenty of friends that I helped. You know, at this point, they didn't want my ass. So I was going to help other girls get in the houses that they want to get into. So I just took a lot of people under my wing and said, hey, you know, you can crush Rush Week. You got this. I mean, I never had a hateful bone in my body. You know, I rather see people happy. And it's just sad that some of my own brothers that I love and support couldn't show me that same love and support back. So it just made me not want to be around and not be involved in A-Phi-O as an alumni. And another thing that one of my friends told me is, as a black person, you stay in your place, they ain't got no problem with you. When you start to move up, you know, you start to make your little change, you start to do things in the world, a lot of people just start to hate on you because you bust their stereotypes, you bust their myths. They had this idea of how a black person was supposed to be, or how a Latino person was supposed to be, or how Native American is supposed to be, and you definitely exceeded their expectations. And some people just don't know how to take you. So instead of being happy for somebody, they hating on you. And it's too bad because, again, if the shoe was on the other foot, if you opened up a successful business, I would take you out for a tequila shot and we'll celebrate. But everybody's not like that. And I just made up my mind. I just want to be around like-minded people who root for my successes, and I can root for theirs, and I can clap for them, and hey, they can clap for me. It's not no competition because I'm not competing with nobody. The only person I'm competing with is myself. So to sum up that point, I want you guys to go home, do some inner work, you know, do some soul searching. Figure out, why can't I be happy for other people? And if you come across a black person of excellence, Latino person of excellence, Native American person of excellence, you know, anybody of excellence, congratulate them. It's not going to hurt you, I promise. Now, and I think some of the reason why I had some clap back from some of my brothers too is I wasn't comfortable with telling people things. I've had several people over the semester say, hey, you want to talk about it? Yeah, I would love to, but I've had so many people talk about me behind my back in the chapter and throughout my life. I'm just not sure. So I just decided to wait a little bit to see if I could trust you, if I could tell you secrets and know that's not going to spread anywhere. Because I've had way too many people in my life tell me, I'll be here for you, I'll be here for you. But then they give up on you, backstab you, or spread rumors around, and I'm just not for it. Shut up, refrigerator. Let me just drink, because that's not... Okay, good. Go off. Between that and the fireworks, I give up. Like, noise is just going to happen in the video. But so many people took it personal that I didn't want to tell them stuff. And I just want to say, if you want to be a good ally and good friend, please stop taking it personal when people don't tell you things. Because again, I've had so many people backstab me in my life that I'm just going to be careful with who I'm vulnerable with. I'm just honest. Like, you might be a good person to talk to, but you might not be. You might be somebody who's a rumor spreader and gossip queen, and I just don't. And another little story that I want to slip in real quick to any of my former brothers who are watching this, on why you should still be nice to people despite. There is this young lady I used to know, went to school with me, tried to gossip and backstab the hell out of me. She made it her life mission throughout grade school, high school, and still to this day, trying to make my life a living hell. And to this day, I'm just like, instead of trying to destroy me, why don't you focus on your gifts and talents instead of focusing on destroying somebody else? I mean, if you spent more energy focusing on your purpose, then maybe you will find that you would have gotten somewhere in your life. Let me repeat that. If you would have been focusing in on your purpose, you would have been finding your life and figuring out your path. And I just used to wonder, why the hell do they want to keep up with me? Why does she want to keep up with me so much? Like, why do you want to be like me so much? Never understood it. Well, I ran into her at my high school reunion. Definitely didn't want to see her. I still gave her a hug and I was still nice. So for the A-Phi-O people that keeps running from me when you see me out in public, I'm not asking to be in your inner circle. Don't want to be. I got the memo. You don't want a black chick going with you in the lake house with your white friends. I got the memo. You just want to hang out with your friends. You're close with who you want to be close with. I got the memo. You don't want me over for Friendsgiving. You got your clique. I understand. But if we see each other out in public, you can still extend some grace and still be nice. Like, even Ellen DeGeneres says, be kind to one another. So even if we're not that close, I'm still going to wave. I mean, I got the message that you don't want to be bothered with my black butt, and my black life doesn't matter to you. But I'm still going to be nice and say hey and go on about my night. And that's ultimately the reason why I'm careful with who I'm vulnerable with, because you might end up doing the stuff you're doing now. You know, you reach out to me at one period of time, say, hey, can we talk? And yet you're running from me now, and I'm just like, it's interesting. I'm watching this series, Dragon Ball Super. Jiren, after reading his backstory, I relate to him a lot more than I thought. He's a guy whose friends also betrayed him. And reading his backstory, I'm like, damn. I know he's just a character, but I relate to him so much because he gets to the point, even in the battle between him and Goku. That's the liquor. Goku. He just rather do things on his own. He's a solitude kind of person. The same. I prefer my solitude. You know, I'd rather do things on my own than trust the wrong people. So I get where he's coming from on so many different levels. And I just want to say, like, personally, in my, like, experience, due to the way some of my A-Phi-O brothers has been treating me, I would much rather go to a homeless shelter than ask some of you for help. Instead of asking you for money, I'd rather just start a business and charge a client $1,500 and ask you guys for money. I mean, I love you guys as people and I love you at a distance, but the way that some of you have treated me, like, I don't see you as a part of my family. You don't see me as a part of your family. So why would I come to you being vulnerable and asking you for help when you run from me? When you, oh my God, avoid. I'm like, for real? These are supposed to be people that call themselves my brothers? So, you know, when my car breaks down, I'd rather get an Uber, Lyft, hitchhike. I'd rather just take my chances and put my grown-up pants on and, you know, put my bootstraps on and just work it out in my own way, because, again, I've had so many mean run-ins with some of you, I'd just rather not. Whew, that's some good shit. And I just want to say to any potential A-Phi-O member that came across this video, I just want to say, like, your experiences were probably way better than mine. Give the organization a try. You may find that it's your home for life. You might be a great lifelong member. And don't let my experiences scare you. Um, Life goes on, and other members will definitely join. And like I said, give it a try. Don't let my experiences scare you. I'm sure you'll do great in your chapters across the country and across the world. So this is probably not the best video for you to be watching if you're a potential, because I don't want to scare you away. This is just me being honest because people have asked me my opinion due to the climate that we're in right now with this sandwich pandemic of racism going on and everything else going on with the COVID. I've been reaching out to people saying, hey, how's it going? And people have been saying, hey, how are you doing with all this stuff going on? So this is me being honest and open. Probably not the best video to come across if you're thinking about joining. But nevertheless, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. And I think I am going to end it. I think I covered everything, got my notes already. I think I'm good. Oh yeah, one more important thing. I wanted to get a different opinion on something. Are you the only one? I mean, in other words, are you the only black person in your organization, or the only Latino in your workplace? The only Asian, only, whoever group you're in? Do you get treated nicely? Because I believe it's out there. I haven't found it yet, but it might be out there. So I just want you to comment below if you are involved in a loving organization who genuinely loves you. They see skin color, they embrace you for who you are, but you just happen to be the only one. But they love you like family. So let me know if you have an experience like that. I would love to hear it. And I'm out. And how's everybody dealing with the fireworks? Oh my gosh, so many fireworks. Like, I sometimes want to go to sleep and like, pop, 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 pop. I gotta help my doggy. But alright, guys. Later. Love you. Wish you well, even though some of you guys hate me. Bye. Well, maybe I should end it better than that. Cheers. Even though some of you hate me, I still wish you well. Now it's really bye. I'm off. Hi, my name is Alesha, and if this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. I wanted to revisit one of my popular videos, why I dropped Alpha-Phi-Omega. To be honest with you, I'm surprised people have watched that shit, so thank you for watching. Oh, today is my dog's birthday, and 48 hours is on, and this is going to kind of be like the unofficial part 3. I'm probably going to break it up over the next couple of days because I have a lot of auditions. I have 2 auditions tomorrow, and it's been crazy when it comes to auditions, so I'm going to probably film this over the next couple of days. We'll see how that works. But, like I said, I'm really surprised people will watch this and reached out to me, and people from all around the world have reached out. And thank you, because there's so many things you can do with your time, but you decided to watch my video, so I appreciate it. And it's one of those videos on my YouTube channel that still keeps going up. Like, as I record this, the numbers keep like slowly but surely going up, so I appreciate you. Goes to show that you should share your story, because you just never know who it could reach and what new friends you can make out of it. And I also want to revisit this because I've been in a lot of Facebook groups, and one of the questions that I keep getting in my feed is it harder I keep on doing that. Older. Is it harder to make friends the older you get? And I've been saying yes. But you can still make friends when you're older, but you just have to get yourself out there and find people on your same wavelength, and find friends on your same energy, and find, common interests. Because yeah, when you're in school, you see people all the time, you just naturally are friends because you see them every day. But then once you leave school, a lot of times you find the connections kind of like, drizzle out, or doesn't last after school. So yes, I've been answering a lot of those questions. So I think with my experiences in Alpha Phi Omega, I think I can answer some of those questions about making friends the older you get. And yeah, you can make friends when you're older, but you just have to get a little bit more creative and stick your neck out there. So let's get into it. So when I first made the videos and article, the question I got was, how can I help? That kind of thing. And I was watching a lot of Alpha Phi Omega people post Black Lives Matter and post a black box. And I wasn't buying the bullshit. I know them way too well. I think a good number of them don't care about racism. They're trying to make everybody else in the world think they care, but they can secretly give two fucks. They're doing it for popularity reasons, not moral and good reasons. And that was just ultimately my stance. I mean, there were some people who really was trying, and I have friends and white friends and friends of all races who really tried, really made efforts, really do things to make long-term change. But there's just a group of them now. I'm like, I don't think their intentions are genuine, because I know them too well. There were times when they were out with their white friends, when they saw me, they would run from me. I look at their pictures on social media, all white people in their crowd. And look, I'm not coming down on people for being close with who they're close with. But how can you say Black Lives Matter? So I'm going to continue. But anyways, I just felt like, especially in my time at Alpha Phi Omega, that there were some of the members who didn't want to be my friend because I was black. And I'm just going to throw this out there as an elephant in the room. Just because I'm light-skinned doesn't mean that I fit in with white people better. I think over the years of my life, I've had certain experiences where, oh, you're whiter and you got light skin, you got long hair. No amount of light skin assimilation is going to protect me from racism in the United States. So getting back to this, there are times when I was in Alpha Phi Omega where I would run into a member or somebody who said, hey, we're friends. But then when they were with their white friends, all of a sudden I didn't exist. They run from me, tell one of their homies, hey, get the fuck out of here. And I would look at pictures on their social media. They would all hang out at each other's houses, and look, maybe they were just closer to each other and it had nothing to do with race. And maybe I didn't want to be open and tell them things and whatever. But at some point in time, when you've been on this earth for a long time, you read the writing on the wall, you have to realize that, maybe some of this treatment I'm getting is because of my race. And it's sad because people treat you bad because of your race. It's sad that there's a lot of people out there like that. And to see them posting Black Lives Matters posts, I'm not buying it. I've had people tell me, oh, but Alesha, they're really trying to learn, they're trying to grow, and they're trying to they're trying to learn, and I'm just not buying it. Because I have white friends and friends of other races who you could tell they care. That you could tell that they really want to learn, really want to grow. But I feel like these people that were posting, they were just trying to be a member of the team for image purposes, for popularity reasons, not for moral and good-based reasons. They were just doing it because they don't want to look racist. They don't care about black people. Like I said in the last clip, how can you talk about Black Lives Matters when you don't even have black friends? You don't even make an effort to get to know people outside your own race. You kind of have your own little clique, your own little bubble. And yet, and wait, here's the thing about some of them. Some of them will go as far as, having friends of, Asian descent, Indian descent, Hispanic descent. They'll have all other race of people in their photos. But the one race of people that's always missing is black. So this tells me that maybe some of my Alpha Phi Omega friends or brothers. Maybe some of them have learned harmful things about black people growing up, and maybe they've heard harmful stereotypes about black people, which are not true, and they're uncomfortable around black people. So I made that video and article last year. Well, the videos, I had 2 videos and 1 article. I made them last year because I wasn't buying it. I didn't think Black Lives Matter to them. They didn't care. I have friends who care and make it obvious they care, but they only posted the black box once and think that, oh shit, we're on the team. But no. And then I have some of them who have gone as far as having 1 black friend and their CEO all white. And I'm just like, that's not gonna cut the mustard either, my dears. You know, A for effort, but no. You really need to have a diverse group of friends. And if you don't, that's more of a reflection on you. So when I see, you know, them posting Black Lives Matter stuff, these pretenders, those are the ones who I was calling out. Because I have friends of all races who are really trying, who really make the effort, who post and really put themselves out there. Hey, what can I learn? How can I help? And these pretenders who are pretending to be on the team, they should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Like, like, if you're posting that, and yet you're going back doing the same thing, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. And it was almost annoying to see the pretenders post, we're on the team, what can we do to help? Same people who ran for me when they saw me out in public, acted like I didn't exist when they were with their white friends. The pretenders. But yet you somehow want to pretend that you're on the team. You care more about fitting in than making long-term change. And I wasn't buying it, starting to get annoyed with it. And I was told from several people, you know, if they actually took the time to read this, they could probably learn something. But the people who need to read it won't, and your friends who are really on your side, who really love and support you, will. I said, oh yeah, definitely. Because I've had people reach out all around the world, and I'm surprised. I've had some people ask me, do I want to rejoin Alpha Phi Omega? And I said, no, I do not want to rejoin Alpha Phi Omega. I will still talk with people who talk with me, but I'm not interested in rejoining. And that's basically why I made it, because I was seeing too many fake people who were just hopping on the bandwagon for their own personal gain, trying to, like, you know, get a piece and, yeah, we care. No, you don't. You know, you don't care. You haven't shown you care. You had a black friend in Alpha Phi Omega in your chapter, and there were times where you ran for me and act like I didn't exist. So no, you don't care. You just don't want to look racist. So that's why I originally made it, just to address the pretenders. And again, I've been told that I could be pretty blunt and straightforward in my articles and mediums, but you'll definitely know where I stand. It's not like I'm a talk behind your back and talk amongst my friends. I'm just going to come at you directly and address it. So that's why I made it in the first place. I'm going to go ahead and get into some juicy stories and maybe answer the group's questions on how you can make friends as an older adult, i.e. 20s and 30s. We're not old, but we're not in that grade school, high school, college stage anymore where we see our friends every day. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that, and I will see you in like 1 second. So, my view still stands. If they care about black people, then I am the president of the United States. So, let me get into, for people who haven't watched the first 2 parts, the reason why I was looking to join an organization in the first place, especially on campus. I am the only child, and being the only child growing up, I've been used to just sheltering things and not burdening people and not talking with people and just kind of just powering through things on my own. And I've had friends throughout the years, but I've also had a lot of situations where my trust was broken. So I really have a hard time trusting people. And even today, I still don't trust people that much. I mean, I have some friends that I obviously trust and have opened up to, but that's taken a long time. And even for like a long time, I didn't even tell them a lot because I just wasn't sure how they were going to receive it. But anywho, getting back to this, I wanted to join something that was bigger than myself, get outside my comfort zone, maybe get some siblings, and maybe get some people who's in my life that I can get some outside perspectives on. Because sometimes it's just good to get some different opinions and different perspectives, and maybe you're not seeing a problem a certain way. Maybe they can help you see a problem this way instead of that way, instead of like you basically get outside your own mindset sometimes. Or, yeah, get outside your, what's the word I'm trying to say? Get outside your own view. And sometimes it's good to see things from different perspectives. And, yeah, so I wanted to find some people, and I kept getting rejected. Um, and there's that quote that says, sometimes when you're rejected, it leads you to what you're supposed to be, and it redirects you to something better. But still, it would just been nice to like have somebody to turn to. And so I kept trying, even though I kept getting rejected from a bunch of organizations. I still kept trying anyway. Like, even though, like I said, that quote rings true, sometimes rejection leads you to something better, and it redirects you to something better. And rejection is not rejection. You should just keep going. And I did. And also, I was just experiencing a lot of friends passing away on campus, traumatic things, and I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to make this like a 3-hour video. I lost a lot of friends in college over different things, and I just wanted some people that I could go talk to about it. And I wasn't expecting anyone to solve my problems, but it just would have been nice to maybe have some people be there. And finally, I was just dealing with some racist things from my major, and just racism on campus in general. And it just would have been cool to maybe like not go through those things by myself. And at that point, I was like, I'm shouldering a lot on my own. Let me try to get out there. And one of the things I did try to do was rush a sorority. And oh my God, I got cut so fucking quick. I should probably make a Guinness World Records of how quick I got cut. And that in itself is a juicy story. The girls that I wanted to be sorority sisters with end up saying that, oh, you're following me around campus. That those relationships ended up souring. And that got really nasty. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm about to tell you that story in like 1 minute. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss some things, but one of the reasons why I wanted to join sorority is because, again, being the only child growing up, I wanted siblings, wanted to get some outside perspectives. I wanted to join something that's bigger than myself, get some opinions that are outside my own little head. I meant to say that in the last video. I kept on saying mindset, bubble, perspective, but all those things were true, but I just could not. When I was doing this thing, I couldn't come up with the right word at the time. Basically, I wanted to get some perspectives and opinions and different viewpoints, and wanted to rush and try out something. And there's these girls from my high school that I really admired, and you have to understand, like, I'm the type of person that even if my life is going to hell or is bad or is fucked up, I'm still happy for other people's successes. I wanted to hang around people that I want to be like, and of course, one of the things they tell you is if you want to be successful, hang around people who are successful. And I really admired the girls because I knew they didn't have to go through some of the stuff I was going through. They didn't have to experience the racism I experienced. They didn't have to experience some of that stuff. And one of the girls was homecoming queen. And I thought, whoa, this is cool. And when we hung out at the frat that one night, I'll never forget this. They're like, hey, you should rush. And I said, sure. So long story cut short, I rushed, got my ass cut. We hung out maybe a couple times, but then after that, it just kind of got awkward because I was going through some hard stuff in college, obviously. If you know me, see my videos, yeah, I was going through some hard shit. And one of the things I did, hey, I want to go out to bars and, you know, get my mind off things for a couple hours, go out, hang out. And the way our college scene was set up, you know, you can run into people various times over the weekend because there weren't a lot of bars on that campus, and I'm keeping the name of the college out because I choose not to acknowledge their existence. We have a kind of a bad relationship right now. So usually there's a chance of you run into people every weekend. Like I said, I try to hit up all the bars. So there's usually a chance that you will run into the same people because you're a regular. And I kept running into her out at bars. You're following me around. Oh my God. And I'm like, she was kind of like being a mean girl. And instead of just saying, hey, I don't want to be friends anymore, you know, I don't want to be your sorority sister, never did want to be your sorority sister, she just kind of was mean to me. And I made a song about it. She didn't like that either. So I made a decision. I said, am I going to let one girl who's just being a mean girl keep me from coming out to bars, or focus on all the other people who are happy to see me? I'm happy to see them. They're happy to see me. So I just kind of ignored her and just said, hey, you know what? Fuck her. I mean, I'm going to go out and, I'm having a hard time, and she obviously is being mean about it. I'm just going to hang out with the people who are happy to see me, and I'm happy to see them. And just for transparency purposes, I'm out in LA and New York, and sometimes when you go to bars and go to the same bars, you're going to see the same people. I would never tell somebody, hey, you're following me. Now, if somebody calls my house 100 times, 200 times, shows up at the foot of my bed at 2 a.m. in the morning, yeah, I would probably call the police. But they were just being mean about it. Okay, so now Saturday Night Live is in the background. So when you're going through things, yep, there's going to be some noise in the background. When you're going through things, sometimes all you need is just a friend to give you a hug and say, hey, everything's going to be okay. That definitely didn't happen here. And I think God may have helped me out by helping me dodge a bullet, because I just get really scared to think of all the things that maybe could have happened if I joined that sorority, and maybe she would have been mean to me if I was actually a sorority sister. You just don't know. So I think I dodged a bullet, and I actually was in the Facebook group recently, and I'm going to show you some screenshots, and due to the privacy, and we have a trust in that group, one of the girls is thinking about rushing, and she got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments. Hey, we'll write you a recommendation letter and message me. I'm the president of this and the president of that, and I'm the VP of recruitment of this. That girl got so much damn support. And so I put my 2 cents in there saying, hey, like, I've encouraged my friends to go for it, even though I didn't get in it, because I'm the type of friend that wants to see my friends happy and successful, even if I'm not. And she messaged me, and had several of the other girls message me, but I'm to the point now where I rather just let them handle any questions that my cousins have about Rush, because even if I were offered a sorority bid today, I wouldn't want to join. Like, I would definitely turn it down. Like, that's alright. I'm avoiding y'all like the plague and keeping most people at arm's length. That's okay. I wouldn't want to join. So, and I just want to say, too, if you ever see me out in public at a bar, I'm never going to be like a mean girl and say, you can't come to this bar because I like this bar and you can't. We have same interests. We have same taste in alcohol. And if you happen to be by yourself, I would love to welcome you to my group. I will never be that mean girl that says, oh, I'm in this bar, so you can't be either. And so I just realized, like, they were never friends to begin with. And I also learned to not admire anyone like that again. And if I see them today, even, I'll probably walk across the street and make it pretty clear, like, hey, I think it's best we don't be friends, because there's some things, like, you can't overlook. Like, you never want to be friends, and that's okay. And another juicy story that I'm kind of revealing right now, I actually got a chance to go in this sorority house to film a project and look at the pledge class, and it was all white. And you just have to wonder if a lot of girls in the group, and some of the things I've been talking about with other friends over Instagram over the years, maybe they rejected me because I was black too, but they talk about grades. But yeah, they probably didn't want you because you were black. And I'm like, oh boy. I didn't think that was an issue, but maybe it was. And I've had some girls message me, listen, you just didn't have a rich mommy and daddy, because at my chapter, they took people in that didn't have the GPA, but because mommy and daddy had money, they took her in. And I mean, that conversation keep going on and on and on, but so even though it didn't work out for me, I still encouraged other friends to join the Greeks to see if it was for them. I even helped some of my friends get into houses that I couldn't get in based on some of the stuff I saw in my time in Rush. And now that I have these group of girls, I'm so grateful that I have some more help for my younger cousins, because I still have cousins who are high school age, and me not being a fan of college and not really wanting to join sororities and stuff anymore, and not really being into the Greek life and Greeks and all that shit anymore. It's nice to have like a group of people that, hey, my cousins are going to your college. Can you help her out? You know, can you help him out? Can you connect them to your people? Connect her to your people? I'm grateful for the connections, because as much as I admired my friends who were able to become Greeks and were able to experience that life, and even though I couldn't experience it, as much as I admired it then, like I said, if I was offered a bid, I wouldn't take it. So I will always be grateful for my friends from the frats and the sororities. I mean, let me repeat that. Fraternities and sororities. I will always be grateful for my friends that I met through the Greek life. And, you know, even though I wasn't in it, I had enough friends in it to see how happy they were, the benefits they got, and all that jazz. And I will always just say, hey, to my cousins coming up, rush and see if it's for you. My mom was a Delta Sigma Theta, but I wanted to take a different route. Obviously, it didn't work out. But as an outsider looking in, somebody who just hung out with like Greek friends and stuff, they definitely enjoyed their college experience way better than mine. So, because like I said, my friends are basically the reason that saved my college experience. Like, you guys are the reasons why I have any good memories, because, man, it was interesting. So, that was a long pre-story, but that was a story I never told before, because I want people to really understand, like, Alpha Phi Omega was like my last Hail Mary, like, hey, I want to try to make some lifelong friends type thing. And I come into Alpha Phi Omega with a wall. Girl that I want to be sorority sisters with, the girls that I want to, be in my wedding and all that jazz, accuse me of following them. So yeah, my trust of people was always low even before then, because I've had different situations in my life where people just let me down and violated my trust. But coming into Alpha Phi Omega, getting your heart stabbed in the chest by a girl that you really looked up to, like, especially someone that you've seen as an older sister for a long time, and she never knew that, and she don't care, and I don't care either. We're not friends. We don't talk anymore. But to get kicked down by somebody you admired really hurts. Or have you ever met your hero and then you realize they're not the person you thought they were, and it's just kind of like you just feel like your heart just like. So that's basically where I was at. And I come into Alpha Phi Omega like, hey, I want like a restart. I want to start all over again, make new friends. So now that you know the beginning, like the pre-story before I even joined Alpha Phi Omega, I definitely came into Alpha Phi Omega keeping people at arm's length. And one of the things I noticed right off the bat, that in particular my chapter at the time, is people had their established friend groups, and I wasn't willing to be vulnerable. And I sometimes wish there was just like a happy medium, like, hey, we can still be friends even though you don't want to open up. And I understand that, friendship, part of getting close bonds is being vulnerable with people, but there is also a gossipy element and people backstabbing and being cutthroats, and I wasn't really comfortable with revealing deep dark secrets with people just for them to spread it around the chapter. And I could have liked you personally, but I didn't trust you. And like I said, with my history of not trusting and people violating my trust and spilling my secrets everywhere, when I see and saw people gossiping, I wasn't gonna tell them anything. That was one thing. And at the subconscious level, I've always felt like some people in my chapter did not want to be friends with me because I was black. And I hate to keep making shit a race issue, because if you know me personally, I don't like pulling out the race card. But at the same time, I'm the person who will read the writing on the wall. All my life, especially, because I didn't act the way a black person in their mind should act, or I didn't follow the harmful stereotypes and their idea of how they think a black person should be, because I didn't fall in that category. I didn't fit into their role. I didn't play into their, I wasn't their puppet. Some people just wasn't sure how to take me. And instead of just loving me and getting to know me for who I am and was, people had this idea of how they think I should be or how they thought I should be, and dealt with that my whole life. coming into Alpha Phi Omega, even though I tried hard to navigate the cliques and get to know people and make people feel welcomed, I always felt like some of the treatment I got in different periods throughout my time in A-Phi-O was definitely because of my skin color and shit. It just sucks that we're still in the period of time where people still treat you badly or treat you a certain way based on what you look like and what your skin color is. This shit sucks. But I noticed that over time and didn't really want to like make a big issue of it. But there was just some things that were starting to be harder to ignore. I said, you know what? Yeah, I think some of this treatment is definitely because of skin color. And it's sad because some of these people I still like and some of these people I still talk to. And there's some people I met from A-Phi-O that are really cool and I still keep in touch with. But at the core, I think there were some times where I wasn't invited in the clique because somebody didn't like me or somebody wasn't comfortable or somebody didn't take the time to get to know me and they had these idea of what they thought I should be and maybe I didn't stack up and it's just sad that, you know, that still happens, but that definitely happened. So I want to emphasize that I don't like to play victim. I don't want to keep making things a race issue. But being an Alpha Phi Omega and being on that college campus, experiencing the same racist things in both scenarios, I realized that I would never be able to escape racism on that campus because the campus that I was on, like I said, I'm going to keep the name out, has a very racist reputation. And to keep experiencing the same things over and over again on smaller scale, bigger scale, smaller scale, bigger scale, personally, like one-on-one, it was just crazy to me, like that I'm a human being and nobody really saw me as such. Well, a lot of people didn't see me as such. And sometimes it wasn't like the obvious forms of racism, it was kind of the subtle ones that a lot of people like didn't notice. And as much as I have great memories from Alpha Phi Omega and I still adore and love some people that I met in Alpha Phi Omega, dropping the organization and finding other organizations and moving on with my life was probably one of the best things I could have ever done. And look, like I'll tell you guys all the time, I don't care who you're friends with. I'm not gonna sit here and police you and talk about who you need to be friends with. But I'm also gonna ask you to make a conscious effort to get to know somebody who's different than you, different than your race, different, you know, different religion, different background, yada, the whole 9 yards. Get to know somebody outside your bubble. And I understand you want to hang out and make memories with the people you're close with. Continue to do that. But again, please get to know somebody outside your circles. Take a chance on somebody else outside your cliques. And if you're in grade school, high school, college, watching this, mean girls and mean guys still exist as adults. You think bullying and harassment and racism stops. It doesn't stop. You know, unfortunately, if you experience it in your younger years in school, you'll experience it, unfortunately, for the rest of your life. Like, I've experienced racism my whole life, from grade school on up. Hopefully, we can get to a point in society where we can love each other and treat each other and, you know, hug each other as human beings. But I don't think I'll see it in my lifetime, but it's a good goal to strive for. So, now that that's out the way, I have been making video for this part. Okay, it's 12:47, about to be 1. I've been making video for this since 10. So I think I'm going to go to sleep and try to finish it up maybe later on today. So if it's close to 1 a.m. right now, I'm going to try to tackle this Sunday afternoon. But anywho, just some things I want to say for this portion. Like I said, there are going to be some juicy stories. It's probably going to be a couple of hours before I film the next take. But due to the editing and stuff like that, it's only going to be 1 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and click off for now. Good night. And I will see you in 1 second, literally. Hey, it's Sunday. 5 o'clock. So, what's up? So, I'm going to get right back into it. I was going to save these for interviews, but I figured these are really juicy, and I think they would be good stories to kind of add, because if you watch the first two parts, I talk about a lot of things, but this is a story that I was going to save for interviews, but let me just get it out and open. I was in downtown Indianapolis, and by the way, there's music in the background. Once again, I apologize. I was in downtown Indianapolis, right, preparing for an audition, Monument Circle, see the handlebar, and I see a bunch of Alpha Phi Omega alum, went up to say hello. The guys were amazing. The girls gave me dirty looks. And I'm not going to say names, although they probably do deserve to get called out for being little bitches. But I still love you guys, but I definitely will call people out when I feel the need to, and you know, straighten people out. But this is not the time or place. This is something I would love to have the opportunity to do in the future, you know, face-to-face conversation. Let's be grown-ups and have a talk and have a chit-chat. But anywho, they gave me dirty looks, and I can just tell that they didn't want me there. And I sort of got the sense that if we were in a dark alley, they would probably all try to gang up on me and beat my ass. But individually, I could probably take them. But, you know, if they had their way, they probably would have tried to take me and beat my ass and do whatever. They gave me a real dirty look. Every last one of the girls. And I was like, what the hell? Where's the love at? And I've had some theories as to why this happened. I remember the last time I talked to the one that we picked as my old master, and people in A-Phi-O circles know who I'm talking about. We talked about hanging out. And I don't really talk about this publicly a lot, but I have an invisible illness where I had a tumor, had surgery, had to take some time off. When you don't look sick, people have a tendency to assume that you're making it up just to get out of hanging out. When you don't feel good and you have an invisible illness, there's a lot less compassion and understanding, because you don't look sick. You know, you're fit, you're in shape. You don't look like a sick person, but they don't see the stabbing pains. They don't see the pains you go through. I'm not really comfortable with talking about my condition because it's kind of personal and it's something I will probably talk about in the future. But right now, I don't want to talk about that. I had to not hang out some nights because I was just in so much stabbing pain. And I think some friends took that personal. And yeah. Second thing, when you're going on different paths than most people, like I said, I don't plan on getting married. I don't plan on having kids. I'm not working 9 to 5. I'm in entrepreneurship. I'm an actress and I'm a musician. There's times I just don't have time to hang out. And again, with that little invisible illness thing, I have to really make my good days count. Sometimes I have filming from 6:45 a.m. to 5. Sometimes I have entrepreneur things come up. And you have to have some friends that really understand that you might not be around like you want to, but when you can be around, you make it count. And let me take some more notes really quick because I have a couple more things I want to add. Give me 1 second. Getting back to my point, you know, the same people that complain that I'm not hanging out with them enough or not making enough time for them, are you going to pay my bills? Would you give me a couch to sleep on if I needed it because I became homeless? Probably not. Probably the same people that would, oh, you're not going to believe what Alesha asked me. Because here's the reality, guys. I know that quote rings true, you shouldn't be so busy earning a living that you forget to make a life. I understand you need friends and you shouldn't isolate yourself. But here's the deal. Had a really bad situation happen to me earlier in life where I trusted the wrong people, depended on the wrong people, was vulnerable, and got burnt on multiple occasions. This basically taught me to never depend on anyone financially outside myself ever again. Of course, there are going to be times where I've asked my mom for help and stuff like that. But for the most part, I've always, you know, don't depend on nobody else financially ever again in your life like this, Alesha. So yeah, there's times where I'm not around like you want me to be, but I still have love and care for you. You might not see it all the time because I'm hustling my ass off with filming, music, and entrepreneurship in my businesses, and some of the other things I'm doing, but I'm hustling. And as far as Alpha Phi Omega people goes, I noticed that when I post pictures of me doing something acting related or something music, I've noticed Alpha Phi Omega people especially not all of them, because there's still some that I'm cool with. A lot of people from my chapter have removed me off Facebook. I find that there's people who are on your social media just to watch you fail. And when you're not failing, when it looks like you're being successful, I sometimes feel like this brings out, well, a lot of times it brings out jealous feelings, and this girl is doing something that I'm not doing, or this black girl is not, doing the things that we think a black person should be doing. She's exceeding our expectations. And again, I hate to keep making shit a racial issue, but at the subconscious level, when it looks like you're doing well, or it looks like you're doing better, not necessarily is. I made an article and I'm going to go ahead and post it below. When it looks like you're doing better, I think sometimes some people think they can't keep up. Like, life is not a competition. We should be rooting and supporting each other no matter what path we're on. But I find that, especially in A-P-O circles, I've gotten, I've gotten kicked out of a lot of Facebooks when I say, hey, I got this acting gig, or hey, I'm in Miami, or hey, I'm in New York. They haven't, overall, like, more Alpha Phi Omega people been a pain in my ass personally, and not really been supportive. And in order to manifest what you're meant to have in this reality, you gotta find friends who are on your same wavelength, on your same energy plane, and you just have to find people who is like-minded and blazing the same trail as you. And as much as I love Alpha Phi Omega, and we'll talk with some of the people in the organization that talks to me, I find that, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur, so be friends with entrepreneur friends. Be friends with other actresses, that kind of thing, and actors. So I'm a musician, and I also like making music. So when you are blazing your own trail, find like-minded people who is going down that same trail like you. Because when you're going on a different path, like me, for example, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm not working a 9-to-5 job, I'm an actress, I'm a musician, I'm not wanting to get married, not wanting to have kids. When you do things different, or that scene is different, people naturally attack it. So to answer the question of a lot of my Facebook groups, and can you make friends when you're older? Absolutely. You just have to find people who align with your same energy. They're out there, they exist. But I'm just going to be honest, as far as Alpha Phi Omega people, and I use this group as an example, I feel like the friendships has always been one-sided. Like, even as I record this video right now, I send Snapchats to some of the people I'm still semi-cool with. They never send Snapchats back to me, so that just lets me know that subconsciously, my friendship doesn't mean a lot to them. And I also have friends that no matter what happens, no matter how long we go without speaking, we're going to always be friends. Like, there's a friend that I haven't talked to in 10 years. Picked up the phone, called her. It's like we never stopped being friends. And then you have to recognize when, the chapter in that book is over and time to go to the next chapter. You have to realize that some people, no matter how much you want to be friends with them, they don't want to be friends with you. Sad state of affairs, but it's true. Sometimes friends show their true colors when you're successful, and they also show you their true colors when you're going through trials and tribulations. And sometimes I've also found when I joined stuff like Bumble BFF, I've joined fitness competitions, I've joined other Facebook groups, I've found friends that I've known for a lot less long that supported me in way more ways than friends I've known for years. And I also have friends nowadays that realize that your success doesn't take away from my success. There is enough room at everybody at the table to be successful. I just told some friends, listen, if my song got 100 streams and your song got millions and millions of streams, even though my song is struggling, you figured out your marketing strategy, I'm going to be happy for your success. I'm not going to, and like that, because some people out here think that, your success takes away from them. That's not true. When you're living in abundance and you see somebody else that's abundant, it's naturally going to happen for you. When you hate on somebody who's successful, that's bad karma coming back at you. So if you can be happy for somebody else's success, it's naturally going to happen for you. I also have a lot of people who felt like, yo, you're going to leave me behind. That's not true. When you're happy for other people's success, it's just going to happen for you. So, I felt like with a lot of my Alpha Phi Omega friends, they thought, oh, you're successful, you're leaving me behind. That's not true. I don't think you're little. Just because I found my life purpose doesn't mean I think you're little. I don't think I'm better. I just want to find my own way. That was it. So, life is not a competition. I don't think I'm better. I just used the law of attraction, put my intentions in, and got to work. And I'm still working on stuff. I'm still figuring stuff out. Life is, I'm on my own timeline. Once I stopped, and I never really did, I don't compare myself to other people. Once I stopped being obsessed with being done with things by a certain time, I gotta do this by this age, and that mess is so freeing. I don't care about getting things done by a certain age. When you can learn to be on your own timeline and don't compete with other people and don't compare yourself to other people, that's a level of freedom, man. So, another thing, ladies, be the woman who can straighten another woman's crown without telling the world about it. And let me repeat that one more time because there's noise in the background. Be the lady, be the woman that can straighten. Okay, I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. Be the woman or lady that can straighten up another lady's crown without telling the world about it. This jealousy and this cutthroat and this catty shit that sometimes women puts out is ridiculous. Seriously, ladies, we should be looking out for each other. Give me a fucking break. You know what I mean? So, let me see if I can tackle this one more thing as to why I think I'm on the outs with a lot of Alpha Phi Omega folks to my Facebook friend groups. A single person hustle is definitely not respected. They don't respect my busy the same way they would respect a married person with kids busy. If I was, revolving my life around a husband and kids, I'm pretty sure I would get more play. But because I'm single, you're supposed to be free and you need to make time to hang out with us. But single people are just as busy or the same amount of busy as married people. In fact, I got this quote that I got from this webinar, and I'm going to say it real quick. When you're seeking from another that you can't seek from yourself, you kind of take away energy. When you learn to give yourself what you need, when you can walk in a situation where you add energy that helps everyone there, instead of looking to take what's yours and trying to get what's yours, that's a better situation to be in. Women are born with great intuition, gut instincts, power. Society tries to sever this tie. We're told what to want, told to be this way, not that way, told how to be, conditioned to be this way, told how to be, influenced to be this way, not that way. And we're trying, and the world is always trying to explain it, rationalize it away, explain it away. Deep down, women know what they need, and this world is set up and designed to sever that connection to that truth. And to hear that come from a guy, that's pretty damn deep. You'd be amazed at how many people try to tell me, oh, you'll get married, you'll have kids one day. I don't want to be bothered. And I think a lot of people don't respect when you say you want to be alone. Like, they think, oh, you don't want to be out by yourself because we're such an extroverted society. When you want to be by yourself, you want to be by yourself. And it's the same thing like when I say I want to be child-free, instead of getting weird looks, oh, that's great. Instead of, bashing or trying to make you be a certain way, it would just be nice if we could just support each other no matter what life path we're on. And like I said, instead of expecting like a guy to make me happy, I want to be happy myself. Like, when you're happy alone, that's a different kind of happy. Again, like I go back to this quote. When you can learn, summon, set the intention to give yourself what you need, and you can walk in a situation where you add energy that helps everyone there instead of looking to see what you can get or trying to take what's yours. So instead of depending on somebody financially, instead of depending on the relationship for my happiness, instead of looking for some guy to complete me. That's what I'm talking about. When we can learn how to support each other's happiness and support each other's paths, regardless of what it looks like to other people, that would be amazing. Let's see. What else did I have to say? I feel like I want to say something else. Give me a second. Another example I thought of, moms need self-care when they have kids. And there's people out here who really want kids but suffer with infertility issues. Instead of bashing each other, instead of like judging each other and, judging each other's situation, we should just learn to be loving and supporting of each other and just be a listening ear to each other. That's all I'm asking. And to, continue to answer my Facebook friends' questions. And there are times where, I felt like because people in my Alpha Phi Omega circles didn't understand, they didn't want to take the time to understand, they kind of naturally kicked me out. And like I said again, it was not everybody doing it, it was just a number of people over the years. And every once in a while, like, I might have somebody respond to a message, say, oh, or hey, or, they don't remember my birthday like they remember people in their clique's birthday and that kind of thing. So, just want to throw that out there. Just another thought. So, if you made it to this point in the video, I just want to say you're a trooper. But to my Facebook groups, grade school people, high school people, college people, anybody, any age, the one thing I want you to keep in mind is to make sure you consider the messenger behind the message. Just personal opinion, I think the reason why some of the A-Phi-O girls that gave me the dirty looks, because they were given information based on a friend, and they want to fit in and stay in the friend group. And I hate to put this out here for grade school, high school, college folks. Bullying happens as adults, workplace bullying, whatever. Like adults, there's mean girls and mean guys. If a friend tells you juicy gossip, before you believe it and take it at face value, do your little bit of investigation. Do a little investigating and see if it's real. Because sometimes the person who's telling you the message could be jealous and toxic. And sure, if a trusted best friend tells me something about somebody, I'm definitely going to take the information. But sometimes it's best to give people the space to find out things for themselves also. But the one thing I will not do is be friends with my best friend's enemy. Had it happened once. I told a childhood best friend that one of my ex-toxic best friends was very toxic, tried to destroy my life, listed out about 10, 20 things. After this, she became friends with my ex-toxic friend, and to this day, they are still friends. I think it is the worst thing in the world to play both sides of the fence. So, stick with your friends, even if they tell you stuff. But make sure you do your research. Make sure you do your homework, and make sure your friend isn't a toxic, jealous person trying to spread rumors and gossip also. Because sometimes false information can be spread around for no reason. But again, going back to that situation, don't be a motherfucker who plays both sides of the fence. Because trust and loyalty is very big to me. And having that happen to me several times, I will never become friends with my friend's enemy. I will never become friends with my friend's enemy. So in other words, if my friend tells me, hey, that person treated me like shit, that person was not nice to me, I'm not going to go be friends with that person because I want everybody to get along. Because the reality is everybody in this world is not going to get along. Everybody's not going to be friends. Everybody's not going to play kumbaya and we're going to walk on a damn plane somewhere holding hand in hand. Everybody's not going to get along. I think that's the worst thing you could do is play both sides of the fence. So yeah, I have a little bit of I understand their loyalty to their friend, but just a thought. You know, do your research. Stick with your friends. Don't play both sides of the fence. Do your research. You know, pay attention to the messenger. Make sure the messenger isn't trouble. Booyah. So, if you find that someone is gossiping to you about other people, more likely they're talking about you behind your back as well. Finally, at the end of this video, my goodness, to all my people in my Facebook groups and all the people who come across this video and you made it to this point, you're a beast. Just want to say, like, and want to pose a question. If you find that you don't fit in anywhere, don't give up. Sometimes you don't align with the people that you're around. And in order to manifest what you're meant to manifest, sometimes you have to spend a little bit of time by yourself until you find the right people. I promise you it's worth it. I used Alpha Phi Omega groups that I was in as an example. You know, I didn't fit in the cliques either. And to be honest with you, I'd rather be on my own than be around toxic people anyways. And there's still some people I still talk to. But like I said, for the most part, throughout my time while I was in it, I really wasn't in the cliques at all. And like I said, I'm eating some food, so you gotta forgive me. This is really good. Definitely don't give up, because it took me years to find people I could trust. And don't get me wrong, like, I love my best close friends. And sometimes I'm a little bit hesitant to even tell them some things, because sometimes occasionally I get those feelings that I feel like I can't get close to some people when I go to new places and new events and stuff like that, because I've had so much history of people violating my trust that sometimes I do proceed slow. But once I find that I can trust, I will be vulnerable and open up. But like I said, it takes time. And just don't give up on your friendship journeys. There's definitely friends out there for you that will love you for you. Just don't force it if it's not working out. If you don't fit in, maybe somewhere else is better. Just keep going on your path and keep fighting the good fight. And I'm gonna be eating this good food. Thank you for watching. This is good. I don't know if you can see this, but so sorry if I talk with food in my mouth. I saw that. That was really weird. That was good. I'm pretty sure I forgot to say something else, but I'll either edit it in later or make another video. Oh my gosh, this is really good. Like I said, if you have any more questions or more friendship questions, or want to talk to me about this topic or anything else, hit me up. Instagram, Medium, Facebook groups. Hit me. I'm going to finish this up and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Okay, so I'm almost finished. I forgot to add, this is like a little bonus material. One more thing. Your friends should want to see you be successful. If they don't want to see you be successful, then they're not your friends. And over the years, and maybe other people out here can relate to, I've been told that I'm ahead of my time. Doesn't mean I know everything, but I've just been through some life experiences that makes me see the whole picture instead of seeing the corner. So another question, bonus question, that if you made it to the very, 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 very end, like this is like so, not supposed to be in the video, but kind of just made it in because I'm going to edit it in. I'm going to put it at the end. How many people have been told that you're ahead of your time and you see things that other people don't see, and because you see things that other people don't see, you're naturally misunderstood, and because you're naturally misunderstood, you don't fit in. If you are in that spot and you feel like you don't fit in because you have the foresight to see things that other people don't see, don't give up. I promise you, your people are out there. I got your back. I know you don't know me from Adam. You don't know who the fuck I am, but I'll be your friend and be somebody you could trust and tell your secrets to. I won't tell nobody, I promise. Because I know what it's like to open your heart to somebody just for them to spill their beans everywhere. I promise I won't ever say anything. If you feel like you need somebody to talk to, I'll be that person. So, I'm going to go finish this. I'm really going now. I'm really going out. I'm pretty sure I talked with some food in my mouth. I'm so sorry. My foodiness is coming out, so I need to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.